absolutely amazing, and I'll explain why as we go along. There's no other place like it that I know of at all in Britain. I can just see me breath today. It's one of those days. So let's carry on. And I'm at Alton Priors in Wiltshire, not far from Marlborough again, on a very cold and miserable day. I think the temperature today was 3 degrees Celsius. And the amazing thing about this area is before we get to the main Broadwell, or sometimes known as Boiling Well, you can see all the banks have been crafted, and there are little springs which come up in between all of these before the main fantastic spring we're going to look at. But truly an impressive thing, and I think these were mostly handcrafted. Just look down in between this tree and look, somebody's placed a head in there. Look at that, truly impressive. A concrete head. We'll obviously leave him there, but still adds to the mystical area right down in the roots of this tree here. It can be quite a treacherous little walk across all these banks, but in where you see the bits going in, these are springs, and obviously after the rainfall we've had, they're just starting to refill. But the main one that we're going to look at is a spring which never dries out and has a fantastic history. Walk down this ribbed bank. I'm hoping I'm not going to slide off into the water anywhere, and hopefully I won't, but it's all part of the fun and a small adventure in history. Just coming up to it now, and this is it, the Broadwell, or the Bradwell, a Saxon well, where ancient man was here before the Saxons, obviously, so it could have roots going back to the Neolithic age. And this is relatively in a forgotten about place, but has an amazing fact that you would never know. And it's a natural fact, but it's an impressive and I think incredible thing. And although I've been here many times before, this is my favourite place in Wiltshire from a historical point of view. The water bubbling up from the bottom of the earth through friable chalk, because the chalk that you see there is friable, and I'll tell you why it's friable chalk in a minute. And you can see it just bubbling up there, and every so often you get a big bubble and it all massively sort of erupts, and is massively erupting under the weeds there and other bits. And I'll put on some underwater footage too to show you how incredible, look at that these springs actually are. So you can understand them, Saxon man calling this a boiling well, can't you? Look at it just bubbling there. You can see it all starting to bubble, ripples everywhere as the water comes up out of the friable chalk. So what can we get from this well here? Well, you'll find it on maps. I'll put up a what 3 words location as well. But there's not many places you can go to where the water bubbles up under the earth and then comes to the surface. And this is truly incredible. It varies at different times. Sometimes it's a bit more bubbly than other times, but a fantastic place to come. And when I talked about friable chalk is the chalk that was pummeled by the Ice Age down at low levels into a dust because the weight of the ice was so much, and then washed into by meltwater the rivers and streams, and that white greyish component that you see at the bottom of streams is what we call friable chalk. So very interesting. And nothing to do with the wonderful Bradwell or Broadwell, Boydin Well, and its Saxon oblique Neolithic roots. Are just over here in this tree. Look at all those snails there. Look at them. All over wintering. Well, I don't know if snails over winter, but all poked in there out of the weather. And as I walk around here, I get a feeling like no other place. It's a very special place, and you have to be respectful. It's in an area where there's a footpath, and not many people come here. So the size of this is about in the region of 50 foot long and 30 foot wide, but it then links into the system of the crafted banks and the other springs which pop up in the other areas too. So there are smaller versions of this in the area, and we just get up to the top part and you can see where it goes on down that way there, you see. So hence that's why I said that. But truly fantastic, and you can see it rippling and bubbling in areas. So here with the stream running underneath me because I'm stood on a bridge, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, wait for it, goodbye.